Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are doing great. Before we move forward, I would like to say thank you guys. We have clocked 50,000 subscribers. If not for you guys, I wouldn't have gotten to this stage, and I will try as much as I can to upload more videos. So today we're going to be making a princess that bustier blouse with a peplum at the bottom of the blouse. And if this is your first time of watching my video, you're welcome. Please subscribe, like and share my video, and God will bless you all. So let's get to it. So this is the fabric we are working with. I'm working with 3 meters of African print. 3 meters because of the peplum at the bottom of the dress. That is why I'm using 3 meters of fabric. So let's get started. I will first fold my fabric into 2. We cut the front one before I cut out the back panel. I cut out about 26 inches for the front panel and 28 inches for the back panel because of the 2 inches zip allowance for the back. So I used the biggest part of the body, that is the bust measurement, and I added some allowance to it because we're going to be making a princess cut and all that. So before we start, I will measure my round shoulder. So my round shoulder, mine is 44 inches. I will divide 44 inches by 4. I will later tell you the reason why I'm using the round shoulder measurement. So the round shoulder measurement is 44 inches divided by 4, which is 11 inches. Then plus half an inch for seam allowance, 11.5 inches. And I'll place 11.5 inches here. I will tell you the reason why I use the shoulder round measurement here. Okay, let me just take it 12 inches, 1 inch for seam allowance. And the shoulder measurement is 14 inches divided by 2, which is 7 inches. So I will place the 7 inches here. I'm not adding any seam allowance to the shoulder measurement. I only added seam allowance to the shoulder round measurement, and I divided it by 4. Then here, where I place my shoulder measurement, I will take my armhole length. So the armhole I'm working with is 9 inches. Shoulder to bust is 10 inches. Shoulder to under bust is 14 inches. And the half length, that is shoulder to waist, is 16 inches. Then I will add 1 inch for seam allowance, that is 17 inches. I will make a horizontal line here. I'll be placing the circumference measurement. So 40 inches divided by, that is the bust line, is 40 inches divided by 4 is 10 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, that is 11 inches. Now we add just the seam allowance first. And under bust measurement is 36 inches divided by 4 is 9 inches. I'll mark my 9 inches here. Then I'll add 1 inch for seam allowance. That is 10 inches. Then I will take it down. There's no need of placing the waistline again. From under bust, you just take it down. Then I will connect from the bust line to the under bust line. Then from there, I will take it down to the waist line or the half length. So my bust to bust is bust to bust is 8 inches. That is the bust pan. Divide by 2 is 4 inches. Then I'll add half an inch for seam allowance. That is 4.5 inches. Right from the bust line, I will place my I will mark 4.5 inches here. I will mark it all the way down, 4.5 inches. To get that off shoulder, I will take 3 inches right from the shoulder. I will place it along this armhole line. And I will mark my 3 inches, yeah? And for the neckline, I will take 6.5 inches. These 3 inches I place here, right from the shoulder. I place 3 inches just to get that off shoulder effect. Then I will draw this line here. I will slant it to meet this 6 inches neckline I marked out. Make it like a V neckline or just like a sweetheart neckline. Remember, I marked out 12 inches for the, I said I will explain to you later on for the shoulder round measurement. You remember I divided the shoulder round measurement into 4 and I marked out 11 inches here. So I will extend this line to this 11 inches I marked out. And now we add some allowance to it because I'll be stitching it as well. So after I've done that, I will now go ahead and place the dart. So along this line, this is under bust measurement. I will take 1.5 inch here, and on this side I will take 1 inch. 1.5 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. Altogether is 2.5 inches. Then I will come down from the bust line. I will come down 1 inch from the bust line. This is 1 inch. I will connect my line. Then from there I will connect my line to this 1 inch I marked out, and I will connect this to the 1.5 inch I marked out here. Then I will take it down to the waistline. I'll be cutting out these 2.5 inches, so it's of no use to us. So I'll be adding it back. Then I will add the 2.5 inches back to this side, to the under bust line, and this side again I will add the 2.5 inches to the waistline also. I marked out 2.5 inches, 1.5 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side. We'll be cutting this out, so we have to replace it here so that we don't have shortage of fabric. And take it up. So we'll go to this side. It's up to you where you want your princess cut to be. So for the armhole, the remaining one I'm left with about 6 inches. I'll divide it into 2. I have 6 inches left. So I will mark 3 inches here. I will look for the midpoint of these 6 inches. The midpoint is here, that is 3 inches. And I will still extend these 3 inches. I'll make sure I take it 3 inches here as well. So I will extend it the way I extended the first one, this one here. And from here I will take, and here I will take 1 inch, half an inch on this side, and take half an inch on the side. I will connect this line to meet the bust point here. So I will try and curve it because I don't want it sharp. That is the bust point here. Make it curve. On this side where I cut out 1 inch, I will add 1 inch seam allowance. So I will make a curve here to meet this 1 inch I added to it. The reason I added this 1 inch to it because I don't want to have shortage of fabric after cutting this place out. So this line I extended, I will measure it to make sure they are equal. So I have 5.5 inches here. And make sure on this side again you have 5.5 inches. Yeah. So I will go ahead and cut it out. I will cut the neckline out first. So I will cut the princess cut. And this place, I will cut this out. I will be joining them together later on. I will still cut it out. So this is what you have when you open it up. And this one is on this side. This will be on this side. So I'll be joining them together here. Joining it here. I will use this to cut out the lining. We go ahead and cut the back panel. For the back side, I will still take the shoulder round measurement. I will place 12 inches here for the shoulder round. It's 11 inches. 44 divided by 4 is 11 inches. So I added 1 inch for seam allowance. That is 12 inches. Then I'll be adding 2 inches for 1 inch for zip allowance. And the shoulder is 7 inches. The armhole is 9 inches. Right from the shoulder, I will take the armhole. I'm making just a dart at the back side. Then shoulder to bust is 10 inches. Shoulder to under bust is 14 inches. Shoulder to waist is 16 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance, that is 17 inches. I'm sorry, my battery went down, so I have to repeat everything again. I didn't even notice it. So after I finish drawing the horizontal line, this is the bust measurement, the under bust and the waistline. So I'll now go ahead and place the the measurement. The bust measurement is 10 inches. That is 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. I'll place 10 inches here, then add 1 inch for seam allowance. And the under bust measurement is 36 inches divided by 4, which is 9 inches. So I place my 9 inches here, then add 1 inch for seam allowance, and I add 1 inch for that. Then you draw it down. We draw it down. So there's no need of placing the waist measurement. You draw right from the under bust measurement. You draw it down to meet the waistline here, and connect the lines together. Yeah, the neckline is 5 inches. The back neckline is 5 inches. Then I draw it right from here to meet the round shoulder measurement. So the remaining one, I'll look for the armhole here. So the armhole here, the remaining armhole is 6 inches. I'll look for the midpoint. That is 3 inches. So I'll mark my 3 inches here. I'm checking the measurement so that one will not be longer than the other one. Then here, the distance between this mark and this is 3 inches. Now I'll make sure the distance here also is 3 inches. Okay, so I will go ahead and cut it out now. I'll split this into two. That is the midpoint. That's where the zip will go through. So this is the back side and the other one is the front one. So I'll go ahead and cut the peplum. I won't cut out the sleeve now. I will cut out the sleeve later after putting everything together. The waist measurement is 36 inches. So I will take half of the waist measurement because I'm cutting out 2 of that. Half of the waist measurement is 18 inches. 18 divided by 6.28 is 2.86. I will round it up to 3 inches. So I will take 3 inches round. I'll take 3 inches round here, connect them together. The length is 10 inches, half inch seam allowance, that is 10.5 inches. So I'm cutting it out. So I will use this to cut the other side. Remember I said I'm cutting out 2 of these. I want the down side very full. If I cut out this one, then I'll use this to cut out the other side. Then after that, we'll put our fabric together. So I finished cutting out the second peplum. So what we're going to do is to put the fabric together. I went ahead and add interfacing to the front panel. I don't want to put wording. If you like, you can add wording to it. I came down 1 inch right from the neckline. Then I take it down to the under bust measurement. I went ahead and they use a pressing iron to press it to the fabric. I did the same thing to this side. I placed the interfacing on top and trace it out. The interfacing is from here to under bust measurement. The same thing to this side. So what we are going to do next is to put the fabric together. I will sew the front panel, and this is my lining. I cut out the lining the same way I cut out the fabric. This is the front lining. What I'm going to do is to sew the lining separately on its own and sew the fabric on its own. I will sew it right from here. I will attach these two together. I will sew it from here to the down side. Same thing to this side. And I will do the same thing to the other side. And for the back side, this is the right side of the fabric. Then I will take the lining and pin them together. So I'm gonna sew here and sew the down part. I will sew the neckline and the down part. I will do the same thing to this side. I finished sewing this side. I finished attaching these, sewing them together. And this is the effect of the interfacing. As you can see, it's coming out very well. So I've also sewed the lining. What I'm going to do is to add the lining together. So we make sure the right side of the lining and the right side of the fabric are facing each other. So I will sew the neckline and sew here the down part here. I've already attached the lining to the back panel, so we just turn it to the right side. This is what you get when you turn it. So I will now put in my dart. 5.5 inches because of the zip allowance. So I will take half an inch here, which I already showed you guys before. So I will sew that. I will do the same thing to this side. Finish attaching the lining to the front panel, and I've also sewed the back dart. So I will make a little cut here. Then I will bring it out. And turn it to the right side. I'll use the pressing iron to press it very well. Remember the shoulder we cut out from the round shoulder. So instead of, this one is 2 pieces, instead of joining it together here, I just cut out a straight one. Instead of joining it here, I just cut it like so, cut out a straight one. I'll only be joining it to the armhole, the side of the armhole, and join it to the other side. So I added line into it, then I turn it to the other side. So what I'm going to do is to attach the shoulder back to where I cut it from. So this is the front side, and we attach this side as well. So I will take it to the back side. So I will take this one and I will turn this one also to the back side. So I'll pin them together again. I'll do the same thing to this side. So I'll go ahead and sew it here. Sew this side, so there, then I will sew both sides together. So I will remember I cut out 1 inch for seam allowance. I will make sure I measure my 1 inch. I will still pin this side. My round shoulder is 44 inches. Okay, by the time I remove this zip allowance, I will get exactly 44 inches. Alright, so I'll go ahead and sew this together, the shoulder, the one I cut out. I will sew them and then sew both sides together. So I'll finish sewing the shoulders and the both sides together. So next is for us to attach the peplum to the upper part, to the half length. Remember I cut out 2 peplum and I cut them into 2 and sew them, join them together here. So I left one side open. This is where I will attach my zip. So I will now go ahead and attach it to the half length, that's the upper part. So make sure the right side of the peplum and the right side of the upper part are facing each other. Attach them round 1 inch round the waistline. So I will sew it round to the waist, just 1 inch round to the waistline. So finish attaching the peplum to the top. So we're moving on to the next stage. We're going to be cutting out the sleeve now. I'll set this aside. I'm cutting a circle sleeve. I'll cut out fabric. I folded into 2. So I'm cutting out the 2 together. This is the one, this is one, and this is the other one. So we'll fold it into 2. We're folding it again. It's folded into 4. Just the way we cut out our flared or circle skirt. So I want to make sure I target the midpoint. As the fabric is folded into 4, I will go ahead and measure the length of my sleeve. My sleeve, the length is 20 inches. I will measure it right from here. So we are used to this, measure it round. So take 20 inches around. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. I measured earlier that I'm using 3 meters of fabric, but I ended up using 4 meters because of the sleeve flared and the peplum at the bottom of the blouse. So we go ahead and open it up. So now we'll look for the midpoint. So this is the midpoint. There are other methods of doing it, but this method is very easy for me. So I placed it, this is the midpoint of the flared I cut out. After cutting it out, I open it wide and I look for the midpoint. And I will take my blouse, open up the armhole. I will take it right from this midpoint because I'm not cutting it like so. I'm cutting it like this. I'm cutting it like this because if you cut it equal, after sewing it, you find out that the down side will be longer than the upper part. So we just want to make everything equal. Then I will start taking it from here. This is my armhole. And I will take it from the midpoint. So I'll go ahead and cut it. So we make a notch here. So that I will know where this is going and where the other one is going. So after making a notch, I will take one of the sleeve. The smaller part will be on this side, on this armpit side. So I will take it here a notch and I will start taking it. The small side will be right on this place, the armpit side. So I will do the same thing to this side. Now I'll go ahead and sew it round. I will sew the other side round also. Then before we attach the zip. We're almost done, guys. So we are done with the sleeve. This is the sleeve. So we attach the zip now. That's the last stitch. I will sew this side. So this is where my zip ends, and I will sew the remaining part first. Then before I will take 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on the other side and sew it. Finish attaching the zip. This is the back. I'm turning it to the right side. Look lovely, mostly the sleeve. This is this side. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will see you on my next one. Please subscribe to my channel if this is your first time of watching my video. I love you all. Bye.